What's up? It is Monday, so it's time for another edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. I have John Roser to start. Last week, I didn't have your face to start it all off, but he's got his 49ers jersey on. Roser, are you ready to get it going? Yes, you guys are 2-0.
Yes, I'm ready.
You're 2-0. Okay, let's first start. We'll get to the NFL. Let's start with college football. A big game happened right here at Libertyville and Memphis, Tennessee. The Tigers get a big victory over Mississippi State, but everyone's talking about that punt return touchdown and all of the miscues and how it went down and the officiating call on it. What did you see, and what was your stance on that punt return touchdown? Should it have counted?
No, it shouldn't have. I was rooting for Memphis. I had Memphis +3. I had Memphis on the money line +135. So I was very happy that Memphis won the game. But let's be real here. Mississippi State did get screwed. They're not the first team to get screwed, though, in sports. They won't be the last team to get screwed, though, in sports. Because let's put it this way. If what happened in that game would have happened to Memphis, if it would have been the other way, Memphis fans would be screaming crooked SEC refs. That's what they would be screaming. 100% we'd be screaming crooked SEC refs and that Memphis was robbed. And Memphis fans, you don't want to say that, but you know it's true. Some of you will say it, but a lot of you won't. But you know it's 100% true. Look, did he down the punt? I mean, yeah, like he put his freaking hand on it. Like, is it lazily? Yes. But like still, if your player did that, you would think he downed the punt. If a Memphis guy would have done that, you would think he downed the punt. You would have been like, that's absurd, and he downed it. The other one is, it's not getting talked about enough, is the onside kick, which I didn't know that you could even do that. I didn't know that you could be reviewing to see if Mississippi State touched the, yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, it's like, Chris Vernon would texting me, Chris and Devin Walker, we're like, that's like reviewing a whatever, like, did the defense hold the receiver? And then coming back and saying, oh, no, the defense didn't hold the receiver, but it was offensive pass interference, and we're going to call offensive pass interference. I'd be like, wait, what? That's not what you're reviewing. You can't do that. So they got robbed in a couple of places. They absolutely did. And Mississippi State fans have every right to be upset and be ticked off about that. That being said, they're not the first team to have that to get screwed. They won't be the last team to get screwed over by officiating. But just Memphis fans know, as you're gloating at everything, I do believe in karma. I do believe in the Justin Timberlake, what goes around comes back around. So we probably will have something bad happen to us at some point. But enjoy the win. It was an awesome game. It was full of fireworks in that fourth quarter. And congratulations to Ryan Silverfield. That is a signature victory. And the Seth Hennigan kid, who saved a pick six early in the second half with a big tackle. And the Tigers ended up getting a 4-down stop there at the goal line. And then also converted, I think like a 4th and 8 or a 4th and 9 late in the game too, to keep a drive going, which I think they finished off with a Calvin Austin touchdown. So, or maybe they kicked a field goal. They ended up kicking a 51-yard field goal. So congratulations to the Tigers. Look, sometimes the breaks go your way, and they got some breaks, and sometimes you need that, you know.
Here's what I think. Look, I think it was a messed up call. The punt return touchdown. You got to teach your players. You got to play it. And not only now, we got to teach them, not only when you see a marker go down, not only when you see a referee's hands go up, listen for that whistle. All three has to be done for a play to be dead. And you got to give credit to University of Memphis to still playing it out and saying, like, hey, pick it up and go. Let's see what happens. You can come back. Now, the actual replay.
The referee is signaling the play dead.
But I was surprised that they didn't even review it, talk about it, talk it over to see what happened. That was the part that was very perplexing. Very, very weird.
And there were a couple, and to further that, there were a couple calls in the Penn State-Auburn game that were like, what in the world? And a bad weekend for SEC officiating. There are going to be a couple crews that get reprimanded. And
that referee, Mississippi State, is going to make sure that he never, ever is an official for a Mississippi State game, if the SEC ever again, because it was messed up. And I'm with you. The onside kick to me was the more perplexing part. Beth Moen said it too. She's like, you can't review something that you were not already reviewing. You can't come back and say, this also happened. And so I'm with you. Like, I think I'm super happy for the Tigers because at the end of the day, they were already leading the way. And you know, Coach Leach said it. He was like, regardless of what happens, we still have to adjust and try to get a victory out of it. We might not have gotten the call the right way, but we never came back in that game. And I think that says a lot about Memphis, their offense and their defense, especially in the second half, making those adjustments and still playing it out. It's not on Memphis. They have every right to celebrate the victory, but also remember the lessons that you learned from it. But celebrate all you want. Mississippi State, unfortunately.
Imagine reviewing the spot of a ball. Like, did he get the first down? We're reviewing the spot, and the referees come back and say there was actually holding on number 72. It'd be like, wait, what? You can't do that. Yeah. So Mississippi State got screwed, but enjoy it. Enjoy the win, Memphis fans.
Yeah, definitely enjoy it. All right, let's go to week 2 of the NFL. A lot of action, a lot of great games from Sunday Night Football to a lot of big victories. You got some 2-0 teams. You got some 0-2 teams. What was the biggest takeaway from week 2 for you?
I don't think there is any team in the NFL that looks like, oh man, they look like a juggernaut. There's not one team that looks like that we kind of thought. I don't think they look like a juggernaut. Like, I mean, the Falcons put up 25 points on them, and the Buccaneers had 2 pick sixes by the same guy in the fourth quarter. So, like, you know, you take away those, and it's like a 7-point game. Like, it's not, you know, but pick sixes happen, and they're part of it. There's not an amazing team. The other thing I will say, though, it is crazy. 44 years old, and Tom Brady through 2 weeks is the MVP of the league. Like, it's crazy. The guy's got 9 touchdowns in 2 weeks, and he's got a load of weapons with Gronk and Mike Evans and Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones and Chris Godwin. I mean, Scotty Miller, like, they are stacked, absolutely. But Tom Brady through 2 weeks looks like the MVP of the league. But yeah, I don't think any team looks totally unbeatable. The other story are the underdogs. I mean, the underdogs covered a ton and won outright last week, and then this past weekend, I think we've had 14 games played, and 9 of 14 underdogs covered, with I think 4 or 5 winning outright.
Did you have my Titans as an underdog? Did you have them as an underdog?
I did have them, but it was in a parlay and it didn't hit because the Dolphins ruined everything for me yesterday.
Well, I'm gonna give a shout out to the Tennessee Titans because look, I went into that game not
big time. Thank you.
I went in not believing, but then after the first quarter, I started changing my mind. I said, you know what? I gotta be all in. I gotta be that fan that's gonna ride or ride. And the way that they came out in the second half, and Derrick Henry. I had some questions. About the game plan after that first drive. The Titans were able to put something together, which really was Derrick Henry putting Derrick Henry together. Their defense showed up, and look, we have a kicker finally. I mean, we have a kicker finally. We have a kicker who can take the pressure and hit a field goal in overtime to get the victory. The Titans game for me, and I know I'm biased, that was the biggest game of all time for myself. And also the Chiefs. You talk about we don't have a dominant team. There's some questions about the Chiefs.
Now, they blew it. Kansas City blew it. Like, you got an 11-point lead, and Mahomes throws a horrible pick. Like, what are you doing? That's arrogant trying to throw that. And then Edwards-Helaire fumbles. Like, but congrats to the Ravens. I didn't think they could win a game like that against Kansas City, playing that high scoring. I didn't think they could do it, but they made the plays. They had to capitalize, and they made the plays. So congratulations to Devin Walker and his Lamar Jackson-led Ravens.
I think 2 teams who are waking up today trying to figure out what happened are the Seahawks and the Chiefs. The Seahawks and the Chiefs are 2 teams that kind of like, you know, gave it away. And you're also thinking to yourself, like, how do we let this happen? But it does not take away for what the Titans and for Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, were able to accomplish in week 2. Tonight, it's another big matchup. If you want to say that, it's big because we don't really quite know what the Green Bay Packers are doing yet. What you got for Monday Night Football with the Packers?
I think Green Bay bounces back. As a Niners fan, I've seen the Lions play. They are not good at all. Their corner, who they took 3rd overall 2 years ago, Jeffrey Okudah from Ohio State tour, I believe his Achilles. He's out for the season. He won't be there. I am big tonight on the WinBet app.
Okay.
On the WinBet app, I have Devontae Adams plus 500 to get the first touchdown. Mm-hmm. And then it's the Chad Johnson Ocho Cinco special. Devontae Adams to get 100 yards receiving and have a touchdown is plus 650. I'm on both of those tonight. Green Bay wins big.
Okay, I want drama. I want drama. I want the Green Bay Packers drama to continue. I'm not going against Aaron Rodgers. I just want something to talk about tomorrow morning. Let the game be good and let us wake up questioning what's happening in Green Bay. Oh, I just love the suspense. That's all the time we have for this edition of 3 Point Stance presented by Mountain Dew.